We know, immediate feedback, of course, is really good. No, it turns out delaying it was better. Maybe because when you delay it, you have time to do the action and then reflect. And so this delay is valuable. What I am saying is that the feedback is crucial to deciding whether something, the sensor is valuable even. And so this consider phase between the sensing and the affecting is what this context-aware story is all about. I'm very proud of this work. I wish it was in the cars now. We did a couple of other safety things with cars. I'm a bicyclist. I was told that I should spend 40 minutes coming here instead of 3 minutes on my bicycle today, so I did. But the reason that I was asked not to drive maybe was because of this problem here. If I get hurt on the way here today by a car opening its door, maybe then you wouldn't see me up here talking as easily. I'd be hobbling and scratched face or something. So I teach in a design class, and I just want to talk for a minute about this opening door problem. We had a bunch of us sit around in my class, and I say, how do we solve this problem? Let's have a few ideas. And so somebody says, the door will slide. I said, well, we could change how all cars are designed. That would be fine. The car door will have an airbag. Again, extra expense for the car. We had so many ideas. If you touch the door, maybe it will something. In the end, by the way, you ever notice when you open the door, just the moment you start opening it, the mirror moves, so you cannot see what's behind you while you're opening the door. So in the United States, 500,000 people in the emergency room every year from bicycle accidents. Okay? This is a big problem. So in the end, if you are sitting in the driver's seat and the car is in neutral or park or off, you're going to open the door. So this back light, we turn this light in funny pattern when a person is sitting in the car in a position where they might open the door. We already know. The sensors are already in the car. The car already knows if somebody is sitting in the seat, and it knows whether it is stopped driving. And let me promise you, as a bicyclist, a false positive is no problem. I don't mind knowing that there might be a person having a problem. This one here was for the Postal Service. We put a sensor on the side of the car to tell if somebody oncoming traffic 80 miles an hour, because about 10 times a year they have a fatal accident of the postal car coming in and out, and then bam, straight on, head-on collision, because they don't see this car coming. Any way we can augment, we can make the things that we are already using better. So for 10 years, at IBM, I made wearable computers of various sorts with eye tracking and everything. But, actually putting something on is always a drag. I ride a bicycle, I always wear a helmet. What can I do to this helmet to make my bicycle ride better? And I did many things. You turn on the blinkers by tipping your head. If there's loud noise outside, it amplifies inside. If there's not, it plays MP3. If you scream out some terrible thing, it covers that up with a horn. If you go over pothole, maybe it remembers that the pothole was there with GPS, and then it will play back that sound again. So we can do many things without taking your eyes off the road or your hands off the wheel. And I think that we often think that these systems, these context-aware systems, require us to put in extra information. There was nothing that I do in that story that isn't stuff I do anyway, and yet I'm able to do a better job of mediating communication from the person to the world. We made these cars for the last 10 years. We finally have some good results. I made a car like a Flintstones car. You pedal this car. So we have a couple of different examples. This particular one was put in a real car that went on the road, just pedaling it instead of using gas pedal. And this one was in a simulator. And what we found out is that when you have to drive 1 hour, at 3 in the afternoon, I don't know if you guys know, but 3 in the afternoon is a circadian low. That's why I'm lucky to get to speak in the morning. We had average time to eye closure in boring, driving 1 hour on a straight road is about 12 minutes for our experiment. But if you're pedaling, you don't close your eyes. So we found that we could, for 10 of the 13 people, we have a funny thing. I don't know, there's something funny here. Anyway, we had 10 of the 13 people had fewer eye closures, and that the distraction of pedaling was not the problem for experienced drivers. If you're a younger driver, then it was harder to drive this car at first. But we found that it kept you from going to sleep. And I'm actually intrigued about something else, which is I thought it was going to be helpful mostly for people with sleeping disorders. Very, very important result is that, normal person with sleeping disorders might have an accident every 2 years. Normal person without sleeping disorders maybe 5 times less. So, but actually we found that even people without sleeping disorders were having eye closures on boring drive in the afternoon, and it was helping them more. And so we have made many research platforms. I've just told you about a few that are hopefully relevant to what your meeting is about. But my point is that this idea of modeling the task the user in the system can reduce the number of sensors and increase the value of those sensors by understanding what they are useful for. And that this requires us interpreting their value, but also thinking about what the person is doing that they are trying to communicate to. You guys maybe are more interested in logging data, but actually the data that comes back as feedback in a game or in real life is going to be much more useful than something that a doctor tells you later on, and then you have to remember and you have to think about. And I think that these sensors getting more integrated into our daily lives without distracting or disrupting us is what we have to do, because we want to have a world where all of these things that are taking our attention away from what we want to do are not distracting us and not interrupting us, but are understanding how to be considerate and work in the normal social circumstances that we're in. And because the last thing I will say is that basically everything we make is a tool, and a tool is only something that lets us do something we couldn't do before and without it. And the goal of a tool is going to be that feeling of freedom. So while I'm standing on the side of that glacier, and it feels so easy to go up it because I have these spikes on my feet, and because I have these plastic boots that are rigid, and because I have the carbon fiber in the handles, I don't think about any of those. I just feel powerful. I feel I can walk up this side of this thing. So that is what a tool is. We have to make things that make people feel free and powerful without being a burden. And so thank you for your time, and I hope you have some questions.